just a lot of stress and health, and it just never ends, eh? With life. So it's just how it happens. But today I felt the pull to sit at my table and do a reading for you guys. Now, I know some of you have reached out regarding other cases, which I will take some time to look at. I have done extensive readings and a spirit session on Summer Wells. I would like to just do a check-in tarot reading at some stage very soon. But today I felt a really strong pull to sit down at my table regarding a missing and presumed murdered woman, Samantha Murphy, from Australia. She was a 51-year-old woman who was a wife and a mother of 3 from a small Victorian town called Ballarat. And what's happened is she's actually quite a fit woman. She was like a very athletic type. She would run regularly through her national parks nearby to her house, and she would do like 14-kilometer runs and things like that. So what's happened is on February the 4th, around 7 a.m., there was CCTV footage of her in her driveway in her running gear. And she's got a beautiful dog. You know, I think they had 2 dogs. And what's happened is she's gone running on that day through the national park, and she was going to do, I think it was a 14-kilometer run. She was due to attend a brunch at 11 a.m. So what the police have ascertained is that she ran 7 kilometers into a place called Mount Clear, and that's where they believe that she had disappeared or was murdered at that time. So within 7 kilometers of her run at Mount Clear, I'm not sure how they have known that. So maybe there's some data, some kind of technology intelligence they've gotten regarding her Apple Watch or maybe her phone. I'm not sure what it is, but they believe that that's where she disappeared. Now, on the 6th of March, 22-year-old Patrick Stevenson was arrested from his Scottsburn home, which is not that far from Ballarat. I'm not sure exactly. It could be 10 kilometres away. I can't remember now, but is not that far from Ballarat. But it was stated that on the night before her disappearance, he was actually in Ballarat with friends on a bender. You know, they were doing a pub crawl. He was out drinking and partying, and I'm pretty sure there was footage of him smoking drugs, or doing a line of drugs anyway. So he was on a bender, basically, and the police, what they did was they narrowed it down to all the phones that were pinging in that area at the time she disappeared, and they honed in on him. And so he was found at his girlfriend's house when they arrested him, and her body has not been found, hence why I'm doing this reading today, to actually, hopefully, through the cards, try and ascertain if there's some kind of clues as to where she may be. I feel, in that area, there are so many gold mines. It's a mining town, so there's so many mines that are really dangerous in the national parks, so many that people haven't even found yet, like there's thousands. So it could be that she is in mines, and I know that there have been a lot of search of the mines in that area, but a lot of people believe she's been taken. Her body has actually been taken from that area and in a vehicle and taken somewhere else, and that could definitely be something that's happened. I actually don't know what it looks like around Mount Clear. I'm not sure if he could have parked a car somewhere and taken her body. It'd be kind of interesting because, if he's got to walk through the bush out into like a road, you'd think someone would have seen a guy carrying a body or something. So it's just really strange to me. Did he hide her in the bush somewhere and then come back for her and move her? That could be a situation there as well. But we're going to see what's going on. So, wow, it's quite very sad case. Especially, there was a lot of pointing the finger at the husband, and I understand that because, people grieve differently, they react differently, and even I had thought, there was some odd things that the husband would say in a media, his media campaign thing, I'm trying to think of the name now, what I'm trying to say, the press release, that kind of thing, when he's, wanting her to come back, or it was just interesting. But everybody just does things differently. Everyone was a person of interest up until the arrest of Patrick Stevenson, And yeah, but not necessarily a suspect. But, you know, some people are still suspicious of the family or the husband or whatever. And if that was the case, I'm sure the police are pretty cluey. They would have arrested him by now. Especially in this day and age with technology and phone pings and all that kind of thing. But her phone last pinged near Buninyong, and that's where the police are actually doing a lot of their searches. So they've searched many areas. They've canvassed a whole vast area, actually. But now they're out there, and they're actually bringing in dogs, which is amazing, that are trained to sniff phone SIM cards because her phone has still not been found, and I think her watch. So it's interesting, guys. It's interesting. So let's have a look. Can we please see, Spirit, give us some ideas of areas that Samantha Murphy is in. So we've got gunshot shooting, which is interesting because that came out when I was doing a few cards just privately. It was coming out, but I don't believe she was shot. I just don't get that idea, but it does not mean that he doesn't have, I mean, they live out rurally. Does somebody have a gun? Is it near a rifle club that her body is at, you know? 200 to 500 kilometers. Now, those ones are actually meant to be out of the deck. Just give me a moment. I don't believe she's that far away. Just give me a moment. I'm going to go through the deck for a second. Okay, I've just got them in another thing here to check later. But yeah, I'll see if it's going to be interesting if similar cards come up to my first shuffles on these, because yeah, it's interesting. It kept coming up with a female accomplice. So either female, like it was a young female, and it's interesting he has a girlfriend. But as far as I'm aware, the cops have not arrested her or don't suspect her. But I just wonder if she had information. And, wow, this is not what I want to see. Unsolved, meaning some parts of this investigation may be unsolved. I'm hoping to God they find her body. But if they find her body, they may not be able to ascertain as to how she died. It could be something, I mean, the longer somebody is hidden away somewhere, depending on the elements as well and the process of decomposition, it could be really difficult to ascertain how she passed, especially if it's like a strangling situation. Clean, framed, innocent, clear conscience, set up, scapegoat. Not sure what that is. Oh, this is interesting. He was in the middle of the night, probably wandering around after a night out on town. That's what I was wondering. Like, how did he even end up in this bush, you know, in this bushland? Did he kind of like just wander around in there? Thugs, dealer, criminals came up last time. Taxi, public transport. Some of these things may not even be relevant. They may not be something I'm aware of right now. She's been buried. It looks like she's been buried. Solved with evidence. So it does, well, obviously look like parts of this will be solved. Coming up right next to buried means that they may actually find her body. And internet messaging, social media. So there could be some clues. Once again, their intelligence, you know, with being able to find phone pings and just different digital trails here and data. Could be something, it could have been a text message he found, could have been something he's put on the internet. He might have been doing searches on his computer. That's something that could also help them find out where she is, or, you know, yeah. So she could be near a body of water as well. Could be a dam, could be a lake, a river, swampy area in the bush. January. Well, she meant, so yeah, I'm hoping it's not next year. But, that, you know, in terms of court cases and things like that, could be around next year as well, that there's things coming to light. November. Uniform, impersonation, corruption, false. I'm not sure what that is. Domestic violence, physical abuse. So... yeah, it definitely shows me that he did actually get physical with her, and he took his anger out on her, I feel. There's waterfalls here. I don't know. I would have to look it up, but it's interesting. It's showing body of water and waterfalls. I actually don't know if there's waterfalls in those areas. Jealousy issues, personal. So he might have been taking a lot of his anger. He's got a girlfriend. Were they having issues? I don't know. But apparently he didn't know this woman. It was just a random attack. Apparently what happened was Samantha Murphy, you know, there's a huge age gap between them. She's got a daughter around his age, but I don't think they've ever, like, crossed paths. He went to a private school that Samantha actually volunteered at in the uniform section when she was, you know, when he was like a kid. So I don't know whether he would have, you know, if there's any real connection. It's just a weird thing. But it's interesting the ute is coming up, this pickup truck, because his actual ute was taken in for analysing, for examination. So just showing legal documents, eyewitness statements, things like that. Can we see where she is, please? This is what we're asking about, like environment. Yes, death. So it's just interesting to me that he hasn't, I believe, actually confessed that he killed her. He's refusing to give up where her body is. So this tells me that if he's refusing to give up where her body is, he has not confessed to actually killing her. I think the cops have found like hard evidence on him for them to actually come right out in a press conference and state that Samantha Murphy is believed to be murdered and that this was a deliberate attack on her. Shows me that they have some concrete evidence. So it could be that he kept a trophy. He might have taken photos on his phone for all we know of her deceased body. There might have been blood on his clothes or his shoes. There's so many different ways of looking at it, like that they somehow just know she is not alive. And someone had said too that one of her devices, I think it was an Apple Watch or something, can actually tell you if someone's died, like if, you know, at the time of their heart has stopped or something. So I'm not sure exactly. I mean, we don't know. They're not revealing that aspect of it, but it just tells me that there might be a trophy or something that tells them that she's definitely deceased, like she's not being held captive somewhere. So October this year, November and January next year is coming up as significant. December and motorbike. I'm not sure what these are. I want to get some tarot cards as well, because these can also give me an idea as to location as well with her. But from what I saw in the first cards with these, when I did do a pile, you know, it said that she's buried, and it said that she's underground, something like in a cave under something, like, yeah, it's not just like, I don't think she's just buried in dirt underground. I think that she's been placed in something. So she could be in a mine. She could be under like a tree, like, you know how sometimes tree roots can, you know, there's a big hole underneath or something, and he might have pushed her under there. There's something like that I can see that he's done with her. So I don't feel like he's just dug up dirt and buried her. I mean, it could be a shallow grave, but there's just this feeling that he's just piled things on top of her to conceal her as well. Smoker, I'm not sure. I think he does smoke, actually. Awaiting rescue delays. Yes, so her body is awaiting rescue. You know, I don't believe she's alive. December's coming up again. Thief, robber, mouse. So did he actually try to steal from her? Did something go wrong? You know, did he try to steal something from her and they ended up in a struggle? That could be something. I kind of got a vision of him in this bushland walking along or stumbling along the path, and she's come running up past him, and maybe he's blocked the pathway and she's tried to get around them, and there might have been some altercation between them, and then he just got really angry. It's like he was looking for a fight, looking for someone to take his anger out on. That's what it looked like. Gunshot shootings coming up again. So I'm going to look up if there's any rifle clubs around there or something. Yeah, he's put something in the rubbish. Landfill, dumpster, trash. So he's gotten rid of some evidence. It could be clothing. I don't know if he's used a weapon, guys. I don't know. Accident. Mental health issues, fragmented stress breakdown. Springtime, so that's around September, October, November for us down here in the Southern Hemisphere. But then again, also, yeah, it's around that time now, I think, for them. Female victim, overseas, local, global travel. So I'm not sure what that is. But I know that last year there was somebody who was actually attacked in that same area by a young male, I think it was. She was actually attacked, and the guy, I think, hit her over the head with a rock, and she was badly, bruised and bashed in the face. Luckily alive, but yeah, very scary. It's scary now for any woman to be running alone through those, they feel unsafe. Unsolved is coming up again. And we got an old abandoned barn shed, isolated barn shed somewhere. So it's interesting because they were on a rural property. Is there something in this shed, that is evidence somewhere hidden away? Her phone, her watch, or what is that, an old car. So a bicycle, not sure what that is. And a van, which is the weirdest thing, because the van came out in the last few readings I was doing. The van kept coming out. We've got different vehicles here, so I'm wondering if different vehicles have been used. I'm not sure. Because apparently he also had, there was a place at Scottsburn, but there was also 2 residences. There was a place closer to Ballarat, I think his parents were living in. And then I think his girlfriend's place out in that rural area. So he had kind of like 2 places. So it's interesting, all these vehicles. Cold case, oh my God. I don't want this to be a cold case. Car accident. So people, the reporters, for some reason there was rumours going around, was this a hit and run accident, and it's interesting it says accident then car accident. But the police believed that there was no hit and run situation with this one. So it could just mean that his car has been in an accident, or there's been an old car that's been in an accident in a shed, and that's linked to some evidence. September. Come on, guys. We need some help, please, Spirit. Where's Sam Murphy? Where is Sam Murphy? Rescued, helped, retrieved, saved. So it looks like her body will be retrieved. Oh, look at that. The death card's coming up again. And oh my God, this is so bizarre. I just told you. This came up so many times, but for some reason it doesn't. Well, I don't know if it's the girlfriend or someone else might have information. Yeah, oh, there we are. Strangulation, guys. She might have been strangled. Oh, God. Thugs, dealer, criminals. Interesting that they're into drugs, these young ones. Yeah, I'll come back to this. So a lot of the times, men can, especially, strangulation is very common with women. I've noticed when a man is, attacking a woman, they usually use like a blunt force trauma, or it's strangulation. In water, drowning, submerged. Oh, I wonder if he's put her in something that's got water in it. Now, if we're talking about a mine, if she's been placed in something like that, is there like water in there from all the rain? Was she in water? Because we had the water come up before too, and this is just so bizarre because this came up in my other reading. But the police are saying no, it wasn't a run. She wasn't ran over. There was no hit and run. There was no hit by a vehicle. That's what they're saying, but it's just so weird that's come up again. November. So September to December. Oh no, September to January is significant this year, it looks like. Oh, he might have burned something. Evidence. Fire, burning down something. Suicide. I don't know if he's going to be like watched for that. I just kind of get the idea this guy's arrogant, really. Yeah, look, there we are again. Dark night, wandering alone, secluded. So that's come up before. And that's what I feel like he was doing after his pub crawl possibly even wandering around, you know, maybe had a fight with his girlfriend, who knows, but yeah, what the hell was he doing out in that bushland, you know? Because, I mean, she was running from 7 in the morning. I don't know what time it would have been by the time she got there, but it was early morning. June. Whistleblower coming forward. So someone could have actually, and still could, come forward with information. And it could be the female. Now, it does say suspect accomplice, but it could also be an eyewitness. Someone, you know, even who knows him. It could be a girlfriend coming forward with information that she learned that maybe she was afraid to come forward with. We don't know. Crime of passion and rage. So this was not, I know the cops say it's a deliberate attack, but I still wonder if something was like an initial motive, like maybe just got really pissed off with her because she was in his way on the pathway or something, or tried to rob her, and it could have been another motive, and then something's just fueled a rage within him, and he's gone and, yeah, unleashed it basically on her. That's what it feels like. Yeah, so, okay, just a couple more, because it's just, yeah, just seeing here. We've got a river and a creek. Got a body of water coming out again in the boat. Oh, well, look at this. We've got buried and we've got tattoos. I'm not sure if he's got tattoos. Either way, it's still showing that. And it's showing law enforcement, police intervention, drug addict. Look at that, drugs again. Jealousy issues. And outback rural, so rural deserted area. So I wonder if they are looking in the right section. Maybe he took her out further than they realise. Yes. Okay, so I just want to get some ideas through to the tarot. Thank you, angels. What are we looking at here with environment, please? Because the first card that I was doing, one of them said 200 kilometres or something. I don't know if she's that far. 3 of Cups. Oh, there's the party. Party goers, the night before, friends. And look at them all out in a field. Like, it's like rural. It's kind of weird. And partying again at someone's house. So we know that he was at, like, in a pub and things, but I wonder if there's also parties at, like, in a rural setting. Like, that's rural out there. Look at that. So bonfires, you know, fire pits, that kind of thing, music. Pub. I know he was at the pubs, though, doing that. The Empress is the motherly energy. It's the feminine energy. It's the world. It's the Taurus Libra energy. And it's lush. The Empress is all about abundance and things that are like lush. So it could be that she is in a very, like, where there's thick brush, thick, dense bushland. Very green. It could be, yeah, there's an argument right here. It's a heated argument. Yeah, I feel like there's been an argument, something that he's just angry. He's got this pent-up anger. Could have even had a fight with the woman, you know, with Sam on that. The wheel represents a vehicle to me. So she was definitely taken in a car. That's what it looks like to me. She's been moved. Definitely been moved. And that's travel too, the Sagittarius energy. So it definitely shows me travel. And look here, right? Look at this. We got like this barn door kind of looking thing. We saw a barn before. See the woman in there. Yeah, I just don't get the idea that she's alive, locked away somewhere though. Is her body locked away in somewhere? I don't know, but she, you know what this card, oh geez, it's crazy. The saying with this card is left out in the cold. That is what all the tarot readers say with this card. They're left out in the cold. So she's outdoors in the cold, in the elements, somewhere buried, hidden away under something, I feel. But it could be that he has locked away something, a secret, maybe something that belongs to her. He might have kept as a trophy, evidence. And yeah, he's had to make choices as to where to go, and I feel like he's moved her 2 to 3 times actually. And that's also hallucinations. It can be illusion. It can be drug influenced. So there was substance abuse. Yeah. Which he might have even forgotten where he's put it. Who knows? If he was under the influence that bad, he might have forgotten. The Hierophant is also a Taurus energy, very earthy. Very earthy energy. It's about lessons. It's about institutions, things like that. And we've got the grass and it looks like he's outside somewhere. It's just interesting to me. He's near a body of water. Oh, gosh, I don't know, guys. It's kind of crazy. Like, we look at this one here. We've got the rural land. There could be a fence, kind of looks a bit like that. You never know, like some kind of weird wooden fence around where she is. Her clothing could be torn. I'm just seeing the holes in the clothes, even though it's not torn, but that's just something I'm getting. Nine of Wands is someone who needs to rest and retreat. And the Fool card here too, which is the Aquarius energy. And you look at this, right, she's falling into what looks like some kind of water. But then there's also the grass. It looks like, I don't know what it is, but I wonder if he's placed her in something that's got water or wet, damp place. Oh my God, guys. There is a hole in the ground. Vast land again, rural, hole in the ground. And drinking, this can represent too, with the Five of Cups. People can drink their sorrows away. So I wonder if he's gone somewhere where he's familiar, where he would maybe go. It's somewhere familiar to him. And it might be somewhere he would have gone if he was pissed off with his girlfriend, and if they had a fight, he might have taken off and gone to this place in the bush somewhere. That's where I feel like it. We've got the Three of Pentacles, which shows teamwork. I still wonder if he worked alone. The police at this stage are not looking for anyone else. I think they believe he might have acted alone. It's interesting. We've got the horses. His girlfriend actually owns horses and rural property, and that's him. That's how this is him, I believe. So he might have even really, worked his charm on his girlfriend. She may have no idea. Yeah, interesting, the tattoos that came up before too. But and he's also the son of an AFL player, like someone who's quite well known in, I think, Geelong and different areas. I don't know much about it, but that was the thing I think that shocked people too, is that there's quite a well-known footy player, and he's the son of him, and also he went to a private school. You'd think he had great education, a great background, and he's done that, So the Three of Pentacles can represent a workplace, business, people working together, cooperation. So did he have someone help him? I mean, it's just weird to me to think that someone who's under the influence or hungover or whatever the next day is just able to do all this on his own. I don't know. What do you reckon, guys? The Emperor is a fatherly energy. It's somebody who's in control, could be a lawyer, helping him to make his next move. See the chess, it's like a chess game, strategy. But yeah, he's used strategy. Not sure. The Devil card, there we go. That's drugs, that's addiction. Oh, and it's interesting, because one of the cards that came out in these cards the other day, it kept coming up actually, was a blonde-haired woman who's tied up. And this can represent someone who's tied down. Okay, tied down. So is she tied down in water? Is she tied up? And yeah, it's horrible to think of, really. And it's interesting, we've got this guy here in like a hoodie, holding his head like he can't believe what he's done. So it could have been a rage, a drug influence thing. Not that that's an excuse. Bushland Forest is coming out. And we've got held captive, hiding, locked away, hidden. So she's under something. Could be that there's wood, could be timber, a tree, something along those lines. Could be underneath floorboards of a barn shed. I don't know. Seasoned criminal, system knowledge. So I don't know if he's got a criminal history, really. But he seems to know how to hide a body very well. So he might have done some research. He might have been planning this for a while. We don't really know. We don't really know what was on his mind. And this is interesting, autumn, because we're in autumn now. And the leaves are going to be falling, which is going to create more, more dense bush, what am I trying to say? Thick foliage. On the ground. But we got a bridge here, and that's interesting because that came up next time. So if we can look at the map and find if there's a significant bridge near maybe a water, because I mean bridges go over water, don't they? Over waterways usually. So I'm thinking it's like a bridge that's going over waterways, or a waterway, or like a little river, or something along those, like a creek. In bushland, semi-rural, that kind of thing. And we got misadventure lost, and we got a guy there. So was it something that was going on with him where he was just wandering around aimlessly in the bush and then just came across her? Male suspect, there he is. And there's his ute. And there's the domestic violence. So I feel like he did take out his anger on her. He may have, really beat her up, but it does show that he's been arrested and caught. January's coming up again. He has been arrested and caught. A male child victim, I have no idea what that is, but sometimes when you pull too many out, it just gets a bit ridiculous. But, I mean, it could be something there, we don't know. Was he a child victim, Waterfalls is coming up again. I'm going to go and Google this later and see if there's any place that has, in the Ballarat region, anywhere around there, even a small waterfall. Is there a place or a street called Waterfall something? That could be something there. There's the search group. I believe that's what that is, the search group. There's been so many people going out searching. It's not funny. Let's have an idea. So I want to see, let's have a look. One more card, please, Spirit. August. Opportunity, random, impulse. Does kind of, it's interesting, because when we look at criminology, we look at disorganized offenders or organized offenders. And there can be a mixture, I guess, but someone who's on drugs usually makes mistakes, and they're usually, obviously he was found only like a month later, but usually the body would be found by now too. You would think there's evidence left at a scene, all that kind of thing. That's why I wonder, did he have help? Suffocation, betrayal. And one more. All right, we'll do one more, and then I'm going to get the other things, Summer. All right, so let's have a look here. Can we get an idea of, that's so weird that's coming up again, because I just feel like she's closer than that. 200 to 500 kilometers is a long way to drive. I'm not sure about it, but is there evidence? There can be different things too, like the body can be one place. It says east here. The body can be in one direction, evidence could be in another direction. There could be crime scenes in different places too. Like there might be one place where she was murdered, another place where her body is, another place where he's relocated her body to another one. And there could be evidence like her phone, her watch, things, different places here. Where is her actual body, please, Spirit? I think we've already kind of asked, but hours away from now. So it's in a matter of hours, it could be some information coming through. And she's hidden away in something. It's interesting. Also, I'm looking at crows. I'm looking at this eagle. So definitely shows me rural for sure. But I don't know if I can get really anything else more on this, really. The World shows success and completion. So it looks like this could be a case that's resolved. But there are some parts of this case I feel that won't be resolved. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted to know. That's not what I wanted to kind of like hear. Yeah. Because he's really not helping. My card has fallen on the ground. And look at that. It says new location. Wow. So the cops are actually looking in a new location. But I feel like there may be another one that they are drawn to after Buninyong. Or, well, I know they are searching a new location of Buninyong. They did like a whole 8-hour search the other day and found nothing. But there's another location they're searching now with the dogs. But I'm still wondering, is she somewhere else? Make new friends, higher consciousness, and kick up your heels. So obviously these are different cards. But once again, it's showing me friends, party, mentality, higher consciousness. There's some kind of drug that has altered his consciousness here too. And as I said, it's no excuse. But could it be also that he just has no idea, he doesn't remember where he's actually put her, but he's actually refusing. I don't think he's actually saying I don't remember or whatever. I don't know what he's saying, but inner child, some issues there. Yeah, but that's probably all I've got today, guys. I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to look into Summer Wells again. And there's a girlfriend-boyfriend partnership thing going on here too. And the Tower. Yeah, maybe the relationship was coming crashing down. There's something not right with why he would just suddenly do that. And a lot of offenders can actually, I remember Jill Ma in Melbourne. I think it was 2012. And she was just drinking out with mates. She was walking home at night, and she only lived like a block or two away from where she was partying, not partying, but she was just having a few quiet drinks with some workmates after work. And I think it was like 1 a.m. or something. She was walking home alone. And this guy who was partying on his own, drinking and getting drunk at different nightclubs or whatever, he was doing a pub crawl and different things. He had actually had a fight with his girlfriend hours before. So he went out to actually get, he was drinking. And then he'd actually came across Jill walking, in this dark road in the middle of the night towards her house or her apartment where she lived with her boyfriend. And he actually ended up killing and, what else in her. I'm not going to say it, but he actually stated that his motive was that he was just so furious at his, girlfriend, and they had this massive argument that he had this anger in him that needed to come out. And I'm just kind of wondering, is there a similar situation going on here with this Patrick guy? They do say too that a lot of people can be drug or alcohol influenced, and they can have a lot of anger from, relationship issues as well. And there's a lot of childhood stuff going on here for him, I think too. So there's a lot of pent-up anger, and it could be to do with women, it could be towards women, it could be to do with his own mother. I don't really know, I can't speak for it, but it's just interesting psychologically when you look at why people are doing this. Why would he do this? It's such a sad situation. This poor girl, these children of Samantha are, they now don't have a mum, and the whole community are really feeling it. They actually banded together and did the rest of the run in memory of her, as a tribute to her, and in memory, an honor of, in her, what am I saying? In honor of her memory. So that's all I have on this one today, guys. I'm feeling a little bit tired, so I won't continue it, but unfortunately not a lot's come out really. I think it's telling us it's bushland. There's a few clues I'm going to look at on Google and see, like a river, a body of water, a bridge, waterfalls, she's buried. There might be an isolated barn shed somewhere. It could be a gun rifle club nearby as well. Could be something to do with, a street name to do with gun something. So just got to, broaden our minds on it too, how the clues come through are quite amazing. And I just, hope you have a really great week, guys. And please comment below. I love talking to you guys. Love and blessings.